Okay, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to meet you, Damon, and all of you that is watching me tonight or this morning. I'm very happy to be here in this event, and it's actually the first time I have a Augin presentation in English, so I'm sorry a little bit about my English. It's first time, but okay, let's jump into that. First of all, I wanted to explain a little bit about me. Me and my family, we own a brick industry in Brazil. Today is the biggest company of bricks, and we are the 5th generation. It's 93 years old. And I remember when I got graduated from school, I started doing business in university, and I said to my father, like, oh, I want to work with you. And my father said, no, you go make your mistakes in other companies, and once you're good, you come to work with me. So I had lots of experiments in other types of companies. I worked in the company that sell energy meters, and I also sell clothes in shopping malls to get experience with sales. And I had a company of selling electrical materials, and the guy that talks about technology today had the big vision about the worst vision to open a video shop. What a lack of idea. And also my first, my favorite career thing was to be a samba player professional. So I used to play samba, and that was really, really nice. But since the samba finished, I started working with my father, and he kind of took me to São Paulo. That was there's this big company of bricks, and we started copying everything they did. And we come back to our city, Porto Alegre, and then we started work really hard. And until the day we simply copy everything, and there was nothing to do. So this is really big issue for a company, that when you are getting to the top, it's difficult when you get into the top, because after then you need to innovate by your own. You need to make your decisions because you don't know what's going to work or not. So this was something our company really understood well. So this is me playing samba just to show you guys. And so we started focus on making stronger bricks to make high buildings in structural masonry. We did the big work, the biggest buildings in structural masonry are in our state. And then we were the first company in Brazil to present a construction code manual. And this was a really, really big job here in Brazil. And our company got known by this. And when we were doing this job was the first time I heard the industry talking about BIM. I've never heard that before since then. And when they talk about BIM, the first thing comes to my mind was this. I thought they were talking about this guy, and I had no idea what BIM was. And when I started asking people what could I do with BIM as a supplier, they said, oh, you can simply make your BIM objects depository and get information data in each object. So we launched these BIM objects, and that moment I thought I would put in, and I would host in other websites, but they were expensive and they just give me the download numbers. So I thought I would put in my website, and by lack of surprise, people really downloaded. And I think for the first moment, like, wow, people really do use BIM. And in 2017, I was in Londrina, that is a city in Brazil, and I was thinking about, I was with this guy that is Fabio Vilas Boas. He's the director of Tecnisa. It's a big construction company here in Brazil. And I was asking him, like, hey, I have nothing to do more. what do you suggest me? And he just came back from Silicon Valley, and he saw like a VDC, and wow, Juan, that's really like virtual reality and augmented reality. And when he speak to me about augmented reality, first thing and only thing came to my mind was the Pokemon Go was the only connection I had to this technology. And I asked him, like, what do you want me to do with this? You want me to collect bricks in the cities and find bricks and search for bricks? What do you want me to do with this? And he said, like, no, stupid guy. We can see the projects in real scale, in augmented reality. And I got to start thinking about that, but I didn't know anything about it. So first thing I did was this desire to learn about what it is. And I wanted to explore. So I had this first desire. And then normally when I'm into something new, I started to learn, and I made the courses. And one of the things, these courses, I've met people who is working with us tonight in Augin. And we started with this great idea to, why don't we make a new catalog from our company based with augmented reality app? So that was our idea, okay? And once I started thinking about augmented reality and trying it, I could think really the 3D had a big advantage compared to the to 2D, and the videos was mostly better than reading texts, and also had a better user experience because everybody has a smartphone in their hands, and also was a big trend created by the Pokemon Go. And I was thinking this could be used for training, and it could be further applied to projects, procedures, appointments, and it could be used in the construction site, and also the owner's guide. It could be used in the universities and for FM and quality and more features. So I was kind of liking the possibilities we could create with this search of technology. So following what Fabio said, I thought at that moment I needed to improve my skills on business ways. And at the moment I went to Silicon Valley and I stayed some weeks there, and I learned about a lot of stuff. And I saw a bunch of technology and trends, and I was really worried actually, because we see the world's changing so fast. And this was me in my trip, and my head was really exploding, because when you go there, you think your business will go down because it's a really new stuff. I called my father, my brother, and I said, hey, let's sell the business and let's open a scuba diving tent in Aruba or something like that. But in the last day of the trip, I got really calm, because I went to Google. And when I went there, I saw that the technology was embracing Google, and protecting Google was the technology of the brick. So that made me calm. I came back from to Brazil, Porto Alegre, and then I had the biggest decision, because when you start a company, you always want to make something for your company. You doesn't think in something new. And that's how we separated the Augin from Pauluzi, because Pauluzi has their competitors, has their story, and we needed to create something new. That's why we came up with this name Augin for our platform. So we started working really much, me and the team, to make this manual to run. And we got this, in this photo in the middle, where everybody is laughing, actually was the day of the event, because the app didn't work one day before the event. So I will show you how we launched this first app the moment we present this catalog for our customers, okay?
Ele permite a gente fazer isso. Né? Valeu, valeu. Foi muito tempo de trabalho, equipe fantástica, e a gente consegue em todo o catálogo. A minha mão tá tremendo, tá? Porque eu tô nervoso. Mas...
Okay, so what did we see after we launched this? Actually, we saw a lot and lots of photos of clients interacting with augmented reality on social medias like Facebook and Instagram, really a lot. And that's got me thinking like, wow, people like, because there's nothing new about a brick. Brick is something very old and not funny, but when you get a new technology and combine with something very simple, things can be great again. And that's how we got to see this brick thing again. And people really liking sharing lots and lots of photos. And after we launched this application that was only reacting to our catalog, our clients, the big constructions in Brazil, they started asking me questions like, hey, I like this with your brick, but can you do this with our projects? And I thought like, yeah, it's possible, but maybe I want to have this time and to develop. And I kind of started reading the market, like what happens with industry of making projects, and that's like a photo from 1950s, and big space innovation for these guys was like a better pen or a better chair. But since the digitalization started, like 2D softwares arrived, and with few time, they simply made that old type of making projects not be productive anymore. So after then, I don't know exactly the age everybody is watching have, but first time I got impacted by the 3D modeling was in '95 with that movie of Toy Story. And that simply got the cinema into the new level, which nobody wanted to see a movie if it was not made with 3D modeling. So that changes the whole industry of cinema. And that technology is being pushed so hard by the gaming industry today. There is a really large industry. And I was reading some news in Brazil about what they say about augmented reality in construction. And they said that the transition from bidimensional documentation into the 3D is inevitable. So that's got me thinking, okay, augmented reality can be one of the technologies can be used with the increase of 3D modeling, BIM, and etc. So I decided me and my team keep working with doing the projects. The problem was never in my life I have opened a software, engineering software for modeling. So we had no idea what the IFC was or whatever formats. So we needed to learn everything from the beginning. And especially when we were starting, we didn't understand anything. So everything go wrong, everything simply doesn't work. And until the day we really could make it. We could place in a very wrong way, but we put the project in a one-on-one scale in the field. So when we could do that, we started thinking about we need to make this all automatically. So we tried to to make everything automatically. So we we decide to make a Revit plugin, and users could send their project with a one-click button into Augin and see their projects in one-on-one scale, right? So the app was really, really new. We were developing. We took like 9 months to develop all this. And my team keeps asking me like, oh, it's not ready. And I said, no, let's launch. Let's see what people say about it. And they, well, but if we launch, maybe we will be competing with really, really big companies who has a really, really lots of money. And I said to them, I showed them this video.
Whatever comes out of these gates, we've got a better chance of survival if we work together. Do you understand?
Like, I was not afraid. I said, okay, the app's not ready, but let's launch. Let's see how this thing goes and what people say about it. And we launched this app in an event in São Paulo, where there was lots of people thought like incredible, really, really nice, clap hands and everything. But also it was really the beginning. I remember I was coming back from São Paulo with the airplane, and I was with my father, and he asked me, hey, my son, this thing in Augin you launched, how many people do you think will be using in 1 year? And I said to him, I think 10,000 people. And I remember his face. He told me like, hey, you are delusional. You are dreaming, my son. And I kind of thought like, wow, we are getting into the hands of people. It's a machine, but the creativity is with each user. So I was really expecting, because when you create something, you really think things will just work out and you don't need to do anything about it. That things will simply just happen. But that's not it. Actually, the reality, as soon as we launched, the first weeks, we only had like 20 users and our friends, right? And I cannot say the beginning of Augin was a really deception. I thought would be way better than that. 1 month later, I was at this construction fair in Brazil, São Paulo, and I was explaining people how to use the app. And this guy came along, and he was like 30 minutes asking me, and then I was explaining for him how to use the app. And there was a bunch of people, so I wanted to talk to lots of people. But when we finished talking, he asked, would you mind explaining all again so I can record? And I said like, yeah, of course. But I wanted to punch him in the face, like a really, really mad, wasting my time. And I made this video with this guy, and in the end, he asked me, hey, Juan, would you mind I post in my Instagram and share with my followers? And I looked at that guy and I said, yeah, he didn't look like a Brad Pitt or not. And I said, do whatever you want. Yeah, of course, share with your friends. And the other day, at that moment, we had an Instagram account with 300 followers. And when we were coming back to that fair the next day, we had 1,300 followers. So we didn't understand what happened. And then we got to this video. And this guy was the guy I was talking to the day before, because he had an Instagram account with 100, nowadays it's like 150,000 followers. So this guy made us 1,000 followers in 1 day. So he came back to the event the other day, and he was gonna shake my hand, and I gave him a big hug, like, wow, I've never thought about Instagram. But after that, I started using Instagram every day, and I keep looking what people were commenting. and what people was asking us question. And was really clear that all the questions was like, hey, is there any tutorial about how can I use this? And users keep asking like, hey, I like, but how can I use this? So I joined the team here and I talked to them. I have this great idea. We need to make a tutorial to explain users how to use. But today, world is happening so fast. Maybe somebody had this same idea as you. So look what happened 3 days after my big idea of a tutorial.
Olá pessoal, bem-vindos ao Engenharia BIM. Meu nome é Fabrício e este vídeo é para explicar para vocês como instalar e utilizar um aplicativo de realidade aumentada chamado Augin. Olha que absurdo isso, gente. Esse é o terreno que vai ser construído essa obra, tá? Mas o objetivo agora é mostrar para vocês esse aplicativo. Olha que coisa fantástica. Escala 1 para 1. A gente vai caminhando durante a obra, a gente vai caminhando no terreno e a gente consegue mostrar isso para a equipe, mostrar isso para o empreiteiro, que forma que vai ser desenvolvida, qual é a concepção disso tudo, tá? Então é uma maneira de apresentar os projetos simplesmente incrível. Tá? Custo desse aplicativo? Nada, não custa nada, ele é gratuito. Tá? Então, se eu fosse vocês, eu ia correndo lá baixar, instalar, começar a utilizar, começar a testar aí com os seus modelos e dar um susto no pessoal na obra, né? Porque realmente assusta, né? A primeira vez que você olha, assim, poxa, o que é isso? Enfim, é tecnologia a serviço de nós, projetistas, para poder apresentar nosso projeto da melhor maneira possível.
Okay, so suddenly happened this tutorial created by other guy that I never know him before and I never talked to him before, had this no idea. He just created something teaching people how to use the Augin. So this graph says how many projects we receive per day since that tutorial. There was like 5 or 10 projects a day tops. And look what happened as soon as this guy made this tutorial. And the fun part, we jump into more than 100 projects a day since he made this tutorial. And the thing is, what I like actually is that I didn't explain for people how to use Augin, and Augin also didn't explain people how to use Augin. And was this guy, this Fabrício from Engenharia BIM, he was the responsible on explaining for other people how to use the Augin, our tool. So as soon as he made this, the phenomenon we validated in the bricks start happening with the projects, but in a very larger way, because people was interacting with their stuff, with their projects, with their things, and not anymore my bricks. So this got to every day, lots and lots of posts in Instagram and of people using our tool. And in the other month, I was in another event in other city, and I was explaining about Augin, and the director of Trimble was in this event, and she said to me, "Oh, you launched something with Revit, so here I give you the softwares, Tekla and SketchUp, and you go make a plugin for these two." And I said, "Great, thank you," because the users was one thing, because other users see in the Instagram and they also want to do, so we didn't have a plugin, so it was great. And this other day, I was at the Instagram and I saw this video. And this video...
Galera, eu tô diretamente aqui de Recife, no Master BIM, e o pessoal tá testando o Augin. É bom, não é, galera?
And this was the first time I saw a video from inside a university, and it was really, really nice. I didn't know these guys. I got to know them later, but I didn't know at that moment. And simply they're showing use cases of university using Augin, and suddenly in the last year, we got to almost more than 150 universities using the app in the classes. So we kind of saw there is this huge software of structures in Brazil called TQS, and I saw the users of TQS was sending their models to Revit and then sending to Augin to see in augmented reality. And they are a closed API software. So I thought, like, how can I open this software? And I decided to send them an email asking for a meeting. And the director of TQS asked me, yeah, okay, you can come here, but I'm afraid we will not need too much time for this meeting. So I got this message and I thought, wow, maybe I'm gonna waste my time because the guy doesn't want. But what I thought at that moment was in that movie, Dumb and Dumber, that the guy had a 1 chance in 1 million and he was happy about it. So I thought, okay, I'll go to the meeting and let's see if I get something. So when I arrived in the TQS, he asked me, okay, who you are? And I said, okay, I'm doing augmented reality app called Augin. And, you're the guy from Augin. I didn't know that. I thought was some guy selling me augmented reality. I didn't know you are from Augin. We see this in Instagram every day. What do you need? And I said, I just want you to make a plugin for the connection to Augin. And he said, okay. And the meeting really took less than 5 minutes. It was really, really incredible. So new tutorials came up created by other people. And we launched this plugin middle of the year. And what happened? For the first time, we started having users from other countries. And first countries was like Colombia, Russia, Ukraine, and some others. But people was wanting to use the app, but the app was only in Portuguese. So they asked us in direct message in Instagram, like, hey, what does it mean carregar? So they asked us to translate in the message of Instagram. So also some users from Colombia, they helped us in the direct messages of Instagram to translate our website that was wrong in Spanish. So we got this help from users, was really nice. And the same problems happen in Brazil, like same questions in other languages. People asking, hey, how this works? Help me, step by step. So I was worried because we didn't have any more Fabricio to solve this problem. But I thought, like, what if users resolve this problem in Brazil, let people resolve in the other country. So we didn't do any tutorial, anything, and let users resolve. And look what happened.
Tutorial. And today I'm going to take a look at how we can work with the augmented reality app Augin. So first and foremost, I'm going to go to my web browser. And this is the website, aug.in.app.
Okay, so nowadays, if you search Augin in YouTube, there's many tutorials created by users in lots of languages. I've seen in Vietnam and what else, Russian, and that's nice because we didn't do anything about it. It's the own users that create the content and explain for the others, and that's great for us to keep focus on the app. All right, so users have desires. They connect us every day in Instagram, they talk, they suggest, and we were combining all what they wanted in the middle of last year. So they wanted more idiom support, they wanted X-ray, they wanted to have in more mobile phones. and also to change scale and cut the model, and also to change the height. So we deliver all that for them last year, middle of last year. So we kind of saw new types of interactions, and especially on the left, people was really working in the beach in Brazil, talking about their project, and it was really funny. And the middle, they discovered anything they could model in 3D, they could send to the app and interact in real scale. So this other guy had this big truck, and he wanted to show his client it fits in the place. So, and the last video is kind of magic, and also users get fun with the app, and that's important for the platform as well. What happened is we reached 10,000 users in 5 months. And when we reached that, I said to my father, okay, it's time to focus because this is growing up. So I started from that day on working only with Augin and our team. So we're working together since then. And we started growing as a 250 new users each day. And one day, lots of engineering profiles from Instagram, they keep posting and reposting the videos, and it got to way more users to use the program and send more and more projects. And that day, what happened was that our server was down. First time, was the worst day in Augin since we started. Was 12 hours out of service because we didn't had anything like auto scale or something. So we learned from that, and we got lots of 1-star in the App Store and Google Play, and we explained for everybody. We asked sorry for that, and we learned from that. But also it's great to see users, even though they stayed 12 hours without accessing Augin, they thought was great because it was meaning that Augin is having success. And they say if we get, as we grow, this tool gets better and it's better for us users. So in that moment, users was like giving us a chin to not make our heads down. So it was quite nice to have that feedback. And later on, we wanted to connect with more softwares, and someday this guy from other software, he said he wanted to connect with Augin, and he wanted to make 3 plugins for Augin. And I said to him, what language do you use? And he said, oh, I use C++. And I said for him, okay, help me help you. If you do these 3 plugins, why don't you do for ArchiCAD too? We need, users are asking. So that's how we got like 4 new plugins of connecting to Augin straight. So there was this other big software from structures from Brazil, and they were also a closed API. And I was thinking, I didn't know anybody there. So I was thinking, how can we open this software? And what I did was that I put in Instagram, like, what do you guys want us to do as a plugin? And we got a bunch of people asking for this software, that software, and we got all the questions that was from this Auto QI, that is this software. We got all the messages, and we answer each one saying, hey, this is a closed API software. If you are their client, ask them. For us, will be great. And so we are sure they received like 100 emails in that day. So what happens is 3 days later, I send a message to the software company saying that something like this. Okay, hi, a lots of users from your software are asking us to make a plugin for your software. I don't know if they ask you, but if you want, for us is very well, for us is very nice. And then we got to know them, and they recently launched the connection to Augin, and it comes inside their program. So it was very nice. So at this moment, Augin is connected directly with all these softwares, and also we have an uploader of IFC and FBX inside our website. And in 16 months since we launched, we reached more than 165 countries, and we are achieving more than 100,000 uploads next week. And we also has now more than 80,000 users at the platform. So last year, I really got proud of sharing the augmented reality in Brazil. We have lots and lots of people thanking us every day for what the job we are doing, and thinking we are changing the market in a bit way. And also, they say we are responsible for the AR dissemination in Brazil. And what this movement, the whole movement we did last year, since last year, it inspired meme in internet. Like people doesn't wanna know what BIM is. They don't wanna know what implementation is. They doesn't wanna know about coordinates, but they just wanna jump into augmented reality straight because it got so easy. And also we are proud seeing that Augin is in a BEP plan, so seeing events, and it's really nice. We also proud of being the back page of the main newspaper here in our state, and also we are doing technology, so people think this is something like a millionaires and billionaires and $1 billion, but people think they thought we were in the stock exchange. They wanted to invest on us, and they don't have this idea. We are in a 29 square meter in a room, so the closer we got as an investor was in this other newspaper that they were talking about Augin, and in the next column there was an investor, but that was the closest we got. So it's really nice, like people are trusting we can fight really for the top, and makes us proud to say it's 100% developed in Brazil. And the last months, me and my team, we worked so hard because users got lots of desires, new desires. They always want new things. And that's why we connected the website Augin to the app. Therefore, users can see their projects in the web. And they wanted to be able to create profiles in the app as a professional or a company that they could share projects and products, and with a direct QR codes. So we did that. All other advance we did at that moment was they wanted to check the BIM data as once as they click each object from the scene. So it was something we released beginning of this year, March. And also that video thing, by image recognition, we started to the users uploading training inside of the construction site. So they had these images and they point Augin to images, and they get exactly what they need to do in each place. So it's a new thing running. And also users wanted to have a better presentations, like for more realistic projects. So we find a way to combine textures and render into the models. for better viewing, especially for selling apartments and other things like this. And files get really nice. It's really to put in one-on-one and start walking through. It's fantastic. And we find a way also to do some 4D experience. It's not exactly as the 4D people think, like planning. Our 4D means like you can sequence augmented reality. So in this left video, you can see by advancing the model, you can see phases from construction, and users can create these in our platform. And another way users was wanting to filter disciplines and also federate models. They asked us to do a plugin for Navisworks, but Navisworks doesn't export IFC, so we figure out to make our own way to federate the models. And then users can filter disciplines in the app, and that's really nice. They wanted that. And my favorite development since then was this, what we are calling the reference tracker. Once the user upload the 3D project in our website, and then they can just simply place, how can I say, it's a target, it's a blueprint, it's a A4 paper actually. They can place in the model and save position for correct aligning the model. And once they do this, they save. And if they take this paper into the construction site, once they aim to this target, the model gets a one-on-one placement automatically with no alignment needed. And people can use every day this in the construction site in an easy way. So this is some videos of this functionality we launched at the beginning of this year in March, and people can have a placement in the right spot automatically. And this video also can have this automatic placement. So after we launched this whole bunch of features, we didn't train nobody to use. Again, we let users to solve this problem. So they created some sort of course of Augin. And in 1 month, this guy had more than 3,000 students in the internet, teaching them what Augin is and how they can use. And these videos we're uploading in YouTube channel. Also, last month we launched the AR web, because we can't deny this possibility, and it's very exciting because it doesn't need an app for visualization, and everything happens in the web browser. So it's free again, and users can just upload models and products in a website of AR web, and they can we are finding a way to make it's the next step. People can embed this 3D model into their websites, and once you see from the mobile phone, you just click in see in AR, and it allow you to see in a AR web by web browser. So we did this recently, and my team here keeps asking me like, hey Juan, when we are gonna charge something? And I say to them like I say to them, I said for them to hold, because there's so many new stuff to arrive, and we want to deliver a sort of a combo of solutions. And so we are focused on our way, and our way, we are developing really new stuff now. I will say quickly because my time is over, but first of all, we are going to create something named Augin Cloud that will be sort of a centralized repository, and tools for users, more tools. And we've issued documentation and tracking management and all the things needed for that kind of solution. And also we are aware that once we launch a bunch of new stuff, bugs will happen, and users will help us to solve the bugs and throw them away. And we also are creating something that we are calling the creator. It means that users will have the ability to create, edit, and with real-time connection for mobile AR into projects. So that's really, really something incredible we are starting to do. And the one we are doing in more advanced and for some months, it's what we are calling Insights. And this project makes me really, really enthusiastic, because as we know, the IFC is a single graph system. And we thought, like, what if we place all the projects in the server into a single graph? So what we did was exactly this. And once we did this, we are trying to, we are doing now a system we are calling Insights, and this system will give recommendation, analysis, and also insights for users, projects, and Beam objects usage. Because since you know, I was a supplier, and I always wanted to know if people use my Beam object. And I don't want to know if they download or not. I just want to know if they use. So this is something Insights can bring for the system and community. And this is really keeps us really awake every day and to try to make new things. And we are really happy about it. Okay, so thank you, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed the presentation and story of our solution. And here's my LinkedIn if you want to catch up. And also, if you're interested to see videos and photos of users, we have our Instagram account named Augin App with almost 80,000 followers. So if you want to follow and support our job, we'll be really happy. And thanks for the opportunity. And I wish a great event for everybody. Okay. Thank you.